Hello and welcome to the Reflecting Light Show. I am your host, April Rodgers, and I am so thrilled that you are here today because we have a great show for you. We have Ellen Gilliland, and she is the co-owner with another friend of ours of Tribe 31 Training. And I love it that Ellen is here today because what she does is she takes fitness and she also brings spirituality into the mix. And so she's going to teach us some of her best practices of exactly how to do that. So welcome, Ellen. I'm so glad that you are here today.
I'm so excited to be here to get to share more.
I know. I love what you guys are doing because it brings in a holistic approach to how we view ourselves and our bodies because we are made up of body, soul, and spirit.
That's right.
And that is one of the things that you bring into the equation as well. So I cannot wait to hear every single thing that you have to say. But before we get started, just tell us a little bit about Tribe 31 and how you got it started and why.
So Tribe 31 Training is an all-women's gym, and we focus on the physical, mental, and spiritual aspect of your fitness. Our mission is to equip women with strength in all seasons of life through physical, mental, and spiritual training. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is just our community of women that we have in our gym, being able to just add value, add support, and be able to just lift them up in whatever season of life that they're in, and just help them to realize that they are strong and capable of doing hard things and whatever it is that they have going on in their life.
That is so smart. And also, one of the things I was thinking about was how did COVID affect you guys? Because I know that COVID was hard physically and mentally and spiritually on a lot of different people.
Oh, definitely. We definitely had to pivot, as we all had to during that time. We were out of the gym and we did online fitness or Facebook Lives during that time. So our gym members were still able to get in their weekly workouts. It just was, not inside the gym. Had to, do it from wherever they did it from, whether they were in their house or outside. But we made it work, and thankfully that only lasted for just a couple of months. But yeah, so we definitely had to pivot there, and I think that's when we also picked up our online community as well. So we not only have our gym, our local gym, but then we also have an online program as well. So
smart. And then you were able to take it to that next level because there are some people that probably still don't feel comfortable getting out, but then they can keep their fitness goals.
Exactly. Yeah. Whether it is because of some health reasons or because of COVID restrictions, or simply because of just whatever season of life they're in, they're a stay-at-home mom or new mom or just whatever, and it works better for them to do it from home. So we're very thankful that we can bring that to the women out there.
And speaking of new moms, your business partner, Taylor, just had her baby.
She did, yeah. She is definitely stepping into a new season and having to learn how to be a mom and to juggle that role, not only of being a business owner, but being a mom. And so, so just having to find the strength to be able to incorporate both of those into her life. But she's definitely trained up, and I know she'll be able to ease right into it.
I applaud her because I was watching her online, and there she was, and she was so cute. She had that big belly, and she was lifting these weights, and I thought, I did not look like that. Through both of my pregnancies, I don't think I lifted weights. I might have gone on walks, but she's definitely an inspiration.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And she wanted to allow other women to see that, that you can. Life doesn't have to stop just because you are pregnant or you have a baby, that you can continue to do the things that you love. Obviously, be smart, talk to your doctor, but yeah.
That's so great. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about you and your journey, and if there has been a season of darkness that you have had to walk through, but the Lord was faithful and brought you through to the other side.
Yeah, definitely. So probably one of the hardest seasons of my life was about almost 10 years ago. I'm a former teacher, and I had just stepped out of the classroom into training full time, and I was working at a gym, and that gym was like family family to me. I loved being there. It's where I got my start in personal training. But it wasn't the right space for me. There was a lot of emotional strongholds and just not a positive place. And I just knew that if I wanted my future to be different, that I needed to take a step of faith and to leave, let go. And that was so hard because, I mean, nobody wants to let go of something that they really love. And I loved being there, but I also knew I loved the Lord and I wanted to be obedient to Him, and I just knew He was calling me to something more. And anyway, so I just went with, Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge Him and He'll direct your path. And so it was just a leap of faith, but taking that leap of faith and leaving the gym that I was at, it grew my faith. And I like to say faith is like a muscle, and you have to take action so your faith will grow and get stronger. And so even though, again, it was so hard and lots of tears and all of that, and feeling like I was alone. I mean, I did. I felt like I was cutting out something from my life and not knowing what was going to, be brought to the table. But I had an amazing support system, my family. I had a wonderful group of friends that prayed with me, supported me, encouraged me. And so I knew, and of course I knew the Lord was with me. In fact, I get a lot of peace and encouragement through songs. And when I, said that I was leaving, I got in my car to leave. The song "He Is With Us" by Love and the Outcome came on. I mean, I'm just crying.
Yes.
So it was like it was sad tears, but at the same time it was tears of joy because I knew that God was calling me to trust Him and that He had my back. And honestly, if I had not taken that step of faith, I don't know that I would be where I am today with Tribe 31 training, because I might would have continued to stay on where I was at and not ever really see God move and work. So taking that step of faith, it allowed me to see some impossible things happen. In leaving that gym, I went to another gym and I actually was able to work out with Tim Tebow.
Wow!
So that was a neat experience. So I got to see God do some impossible things, and then also just seeing how He led me to Taylor and how our friendship and relationship has built and grown, and then just seeing how how our tribe has flourished, and the women that we've been allowed to minister to train has just grown. And it's been so encouraging and grown my faith, and just been able to see how God can move and work in our lives if we give Him the opportunity.
Oh, there's so many questions I want to ask, but okay, so the first one is to take a fitness program and to turn it into a business is not an easy thing. I mean, because you had the love to work out and to work on your fitness, and a lot of women and men do as well. But to turn that into a business takes diligence, and it is stepping out in faith, but it also takes a bunch of grit and a bunch of work behind the scenes. And you're talking about accounting and the business practices of it and growing it. And there's so many different elements. And how did you manage to do all that?
You learn and you earn as you as you grow. Because I certainly did not know what all it entailed. And I just, again, coming from an education background where obviously, yes, you have to multitask and do things on your own, but yet, you've got a lot of security there too, paycheck and different stuff like that. And so again, just knowing that I knew I was taking a step of faith, but at the same time I knew that God was with me. I also knew if I fell on my face, I could always go back to teaching. So there was a little bit of some relief there. But yeah, I was just taking it one week at a time. God sent people my way that either helped me to know how to manage my finances, or new clients, because obviously you're or cutting off an income,
sure.
And hoping that, you can grow this other one. But just seeing how faithful God was in that whole process of allowing the clients to come, that I needed at the time, or just, not having to pay something that I thought I would have to pay. So yeah, I mean, again, that side of it also grew my faith as well. And then, just again, learning to just be uncomfortable, and I had to take what I was doing in the gym and apply that to my personal life of knowing I can do hard things in the gym. Allow me to face those hard things outside of the gym. And that's one of our goals at Tribe 31, is to be able to show women that, what you're doing inside the gym is building your mindset so that you can face those things that come outside of the gym, whether it's, some family difficulties, health issues, being a new mom, moving, whatever the case may be, just realizing that God has given them strength, and then they've also just been working on their own strength to be able to face those challenges head on, and to not have fear and cower back when those times come.
That is so perfectly said. I love that. And it gives the strength analogy because, like you said, it's a muscle, and the more that we are willing to exercise those muscles, then the stronger that we get.
That's right.
One of the things that the Lord taught me was the same exact thing that you said, was to be willing to do the hard things. And I think that that's really the key to ministry, to starting a new business, to really anything in life, is if we are willing to do the hard things, knowing that He is there with us and that He is faithful, then we have the game plan. I mean, like, it's already set before us, and we can go out with assurance and get it done. But He really convicted me in that space, and I love it that you said those words verbatim of what He said. Just be willing to do the hard things, April. And as I did, and He caught me, and he taught me how to do the next hard thing.
That's right.
It was able to flourish.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've learned is in those different dark seasons or hard seasons, that is when I have been able to see God the clearest. And the strongest, that's when He's able to step up and come and empower me and strengthen me in those moments. And so even though none of us like those hard times and those difficult seasons, but that's when we can really grow our faith and see God move and work. And so, not that I'm just like, okay, yes, God, bring on the hard times, but I know that because of what He's been faithful in my past, He's going to continue to be faithful moving forward.
So good. That's exactly right. Okay, and then the other thing that I wanted to ask you about was the word tribe.
Yeah.
Because you said that. And I think that, especially for women, we like to have our tribe.
That's right.
We like to have our people. And so why did you specifically choose that word? And then how did you start to build your tribe to come?
So I'll start with actually the 31. That's based off of Proverbs 31:25, where it says that she is clothed with strength and dignity and laughs without fear of the future. And so that's kind of our mission verse. But then tribe comes in because we are a group of women, and we're a tribe that is pursuing that Proverbs 31 woman of being clothed in strength and dignity and being able to laugh without fear of the future. And so that's the mindset that we want to bring. And so that's where that all gets tied together. And of course, I'll touch on the crown too, just, that we're daughters of the King, and we're all crowned in strength to be able to walk that out.
I love that. All right, I want to dive a little bit deeper into that, but now we're going to take just a short break.
All right.
We would like to thank today's sponsor of the Reflecting Light Show, 3B Outdoor Equipment. 3B Outdoor Equipment has been a successful family-owned and operated business for years, and they are proud to be associated with all the major brands in the outdoor power equipment industry. Whether you need to purchase or rent equipment, or you need a professional-grade lawnmower for your business venture, 3B is there for you. Visit them today in Monroe or West Monroe. Welcome back to the Reflecting Light Show. I am April Rodgers, and we are here with Jo Ellen of Tribe 31. We're talking about how fitness and spirituality go hand in hand. And so, Jo Ellen, you just gave us the background of exactly what Tribe 31 tries to do and what the motto is, and that you're based off of Scripture, and that then you wanted to go out and you find your tribe of women to come in and to be trained. Mm-hmm. So now let's just talk a little bit about how you guys pair that with the spiritual aspect of things, because I know that you guys have even brought Made to Shine into where you work out, right, and have led devotionals and different things through that, which I think is so necessary, because if we're going to work on our health, mm-hmm, then we need to look at all aspects of it. And that's right, exactly what you said that y'all strive to do. So just tell us exactly, how does that transpire?
So obviously, our bodies are the temple. And so, yes, we want to work on the physical and the mental. But like you said, we want to work on the spiritual as well, because it is, if not the most vital part. And so we tie that into, we have Bible studies that we have done periodically throughout the week. And then we've also got a Facebook page where we share prayer requests, different things that are going on, just lifting each other up. Obviously, we build relationships with all the members, and so we're able to be able to speak into them, speak truth into the lies that they might believe. We've also kind of veered into more nutrition, and that's where I feel like the enemy can hit women so easily is with their bodies and all of that.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because I do think that is something that so many people struggle with, but then they don't want to talk about that. And so, mm-hmm, the enemy keeps them in the dark.
Right.
And he doesn't want it to be brought to light.
Right.
So talk a little bit about
and it
your
needs to.
expertise on that.
We need to talk about our struggles. And so we do what's called macros, and but that's just where we want women to know that we're fueling our body, because we have work to do. Yeah. And we're not as effective if we're weak and stressed and lack of energy. And so we want to teach women proper nutrition that they need to fuel their bodies with, proteins, carbs, fats, all the things that food is not bad.
Good. That's really good.
Food is healthy, and you get to make the choices. You're in control. Food isn't controlling you, but you're in control to make those wise choices of what your body needs. And so just being able to help women realize, that food is not the enemy, that you're called for more, mm-hmm, and that, let's fuel your body and build it up, because it is the temple. And then, you're able to, in a sense, be set free from all of that. We've had women in our gym who had eating disorders, mm-hmm, and we just didn't know the power of our nutrition program, and being able to see that they were just viewing food in the wrong way, or the scale, and that they were created for more. And so being able to give them that freedom and power back is so encouraging.
That's good. Have you ever seen younger girls, or teenagers, mm-hmm, where do they come into your gym,
yeah,
and then you get to work with them?
So we do. We probably range maybe the youngest at like 15. Okay. And so we have some that just come in themselves, and then we have some that come in with their moms. And I love to get them that young, because if you can teach them these truths and mm-hmm, and all, and the basics of things young, then it's going to continue to carry over and build a legacy. Right. And you can kind of limit some of those things and traps that they might fall into sooner.
And so one of the big buzzwords out there right now is body shaming.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't even have that word whenever I was a teenager, thank goodness. Mm-hmm. But the teenagers today are trying to deal with that, about this body shaming. And, if one person gives a negative comment about their body, then they internalize that, and then it can develop into something that is very unhealthy.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's why the spiritual aspect is mm-hmm, so important, because whenever we do go back to the Word of God, and who does he say that we are?
That's
Or what does
right.
he say about our bodies? And whenever we know that truth, then we can counteract the lie, and
That's
we can
right.
reject it, and then we can move on.
You're able to identify it faster,
Yes.
and to realize, wait, no, that's the enemy. This is what God's word says
Right.
about me, that I'm more than a conqueror,
Yes.
and all.
Yeah. And then that way you're able to bring in the nutrition side of things and the strength training, which I think is so valuable and so necessary, and then the spiritual aspect of it. Okay, and then the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about specifically is, so the opposite, if we have body shaming over here and we have like self-care over here, and we're like, well, where is that medium? It's like everybody's either worried about, self-care and every single thing that I can do to make my body feel good and look good and be good, and then we have the body shaming, which is like, self-deprecating, and I don't look good enough, and I can't ever be good enough. So like, how do we find that healthy balance and bring it to every aspect of our lives?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. Obviously, yes, you can't just be like, anything goes, treat yourself, lay on the couch, never move. I think you have to find just a healthy balance with that. And obviously with the gym and having the community of women, you're able to see, other people act that out and be able to, take, okay, that's working for them, and I need to apply that into my life as well. And again, just being able to see other areas where, okay, no, that's too extreme. If they have questions of like, hey, should I be working out every day? No, not necessarily. God didn't work every day. When he made creation, he worked 6 and he took a rest day. And so I think we need to follow. We need to follow in that lead and listen to our bodies. Our bodies will tell us way more than we realize. And so so if you're getting headaches all the time or tired and sluggish, then look and see, okay, am I not eating the right things, or am I on social media too much, or just listening to negative things? Again, just listening to your body, and it will really give you a lot of feedback as well.
Okay, so do you have any motivation tips for people who may be wanting to get started on a fitness routine, but they're saying, oh man, I don't want to walk into a gym. What do I do? How do I even get myself up off the couch?
Right.
And willing to go.
I would just say, just start. Don't let the negative of, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll do that next week. Like, if you know you need to, then just start. Just do it. This is your open invitation to come to Tribe 31 training and check us out. Your first time is free. But I would just say, just do it, because the more you put it off, the longer it's going to take for you to get started. And then you're going to look back and be like, man, why didn't I start back then? And so my encouragement would just be, just start, just do it.
That's good.
Whether it's at an all-women's gym or at another gym, find a buddy if that helps. I think that's one of the things that makes us as effective as it's been, is that you build relationships with other women, and so you're keeping each other accountable.
Yes.
And so that helps as well.
Accountability is huge, because I know for me, if I don't feel like doing it, but if I have somebody who says, hey, we're going to go walking, do you want to go walking? I'm like, yes, I do want to go walking.
That's right. I mean, women, we like to do things in groups.
Right.
And so that is key in being able to start it and then be consistent with it as well.
And that goes back to the tribe and finding your people, having somebody say, hey, have you worked out today? And also, have you had your time with the Lord today?
That's right.
How can I pray for you today? Just having that person in your life that will be accountable and hold you accountable to reach that next level. And that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely,
Cause take it to the next level.
Because we're all on this journey together, and so lifting each other up and building each other up. So when you're weak, I can come in and be strong for you, and vice versa. That
is so good. This whole conversation has been so fantastic. And before we get to the last question, is there anything else that you wanted to add that maybe is a best practice that we're not aware of?
I would say that sometimes strength training, weight training can get a bad rap, but weight training is so important to your bones, your muscles, just having a strong frame. And so if you're not lifting weights, if nothing against walking, running, all of that, those are super effective. But weight training is so important, especially for women as we age, to keep our bones strong, to keep our muscles intact, and just continue to do just normal functional movements like sitting, standing up, walking upstairs. And so it's very important, not only for your physique, but also just in functional movements and longevity.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Okay, so my last question to you, Joellen, is there anything that is lightening your load these days?
Well, going back to the fact that my business trainer, my business partner just had a baby, and so
it's probably opposite.
So the load has increased a little bit, but God has been so faithful to send us other trainers and other women in the gym that are coming alongside us and filling in those gaps where while Taylor is at home and taking care of the baby and resting up, they are filling in those gaps. And so they're stepping into some of those class times and being able to coach. And so anyway, so that is just a huge burden lifted off of knowing that, it's not all on me. And then it's also giving experience for some of our newer trainers to be able to teach more classes and build relationships with the other women.
Because then that's how they can start to move in that space, and then hopefully one day then they'll spin off and then they can have their own.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I'd love to have multiple gyms out there.
I love that. That's perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming alongside of me today. I have learned a ton from you. I love your point about just do it, just get started. Just if you want to take the leap, just today, just do something.
That's right.
And then the next day, you do it again and do it again and do it again. And also that it's like a muscle. Strength comes by exerting ourselves, and we can build that muscle not only physically, but we can build it spiritually.
That's right.
So thank you for everything that you're doing in our community and in the world, because you're online, and I think that that's very smart to be able to put that out there.
Well, thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to be here, and hopefully next time Taylor will be with us.
I can't wait.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Reflecting Light Show. We pray you got some hope and some light out of today's episode. And if you did, please subscribe to the show and also share with a friend who may need the light of Jesus Christ in his or her life. If you haven't gotten your copy of Made to Shine, you can do so by going to aprilrodgers.com. Go out and have a great week and be the light.